Hello and welcome to the presentation on placement and employability essentials. Today I'm going to cover how to source and successfully complete your placement and how the Careers and Placements team will be able to support you to do this. First and foremost, I must advise you that this module is pass or fail. It is compulsory that you complete a placement and you need to engage with all of the lectures in order to pass the module. Engagement and attendance is mandatory. We will offer you all of the support and all of the resources that you need to complete a placement. However, it is ultimately on you to find one. It's really important that you reflect on your first year. Whether you completed a placement or a professional challenge, it's really useful if you have a think about what you did enjoy the most about it. What feedback did you get? If you're not sure if you got any feedback or not, please contact your placement officer and they'll be able to let you know if we did receive anything. Did you make any mistakes? Were there any skills that you'd like to focus on this year? And what did you achieve? It's really beneficial if you have a think about all of these things and reflect upon your first year, because it will help you to decide what you would like to do and what you would like to achieve in your placement this year. What have you done so far? Take ownership of your employability journey and the skills that you develop. There are loads of opportunities on campus and virtually that will help to boost your CV. Remember, this is an employability module, and although your degree and a placement will make you stand out from the crowd, don't forget about all the other things that you can get involved with as well, such as attending the careers fairs, volunteering, taking part and joining any clubs and societies, and getting involved with any networking events. As well as that, we will run a CV and interview help desk every Wednesday and Thursday in the Learning Centre. You can come along to these sessions, bring your CV. We'll be able to help you tailor it towards specific job roles or placements. If you've got an interview coming up and you need some practice and some guidance, please make sure that you make use of all of these opportunities and attend where possible so that we can help you to succeed. So why is a professional placement so important? There are many reasons why a professional placement is important, and I'm sure you know yourself why completing a professional placement will be beneficial to you and your career. Getting a degree is a great achievement, but it doesn't necessarily make you employable. We need to help you to make you stand out from the crowd. Completing a placement will give you some industry-specific experience, as well as helping you to explore potential career opportunities. You're able to trial essentially what you might like to do when you graduate, see if it's the right role for you, and it will help to manage your expectations. You can network with professionals. Many of our students are offered full-time roles for when they graduate just off the back of their placement. You'll be able to enhance your CV, skill set and knowledge, and you'll be able to challenge yourself and aim higher. It will increase your confidence and self-esteem. This may be the first time that you've gone out into the world of work, so it'll give you a little bit of taster of what it's like. So I wanted to provide you with some feedback from our students. So Sarah completed 2 professional placements during her time at Leeds Trinity, and one of them was for ARC Inspirations as a marketing intern. The office role was a huge help for her when it came to making the decision if she really wanted to do a marketing job, as she was worried that she would end up not liking it. She spent her time learning how to use many marketing platforms that she now uses in her current marketing role. Working in an office for Sarah 9 to 5 for 6 weeks increased her confidence working in an office environment, which has helped her with her new role. Another student advised it's an excellent way to test drive a career that you might be interested in and find out if it works for you. They said it's an opportunity to see whether you enjoy this kind of work. Testing it out during uni is far easier than after you graduate. You can also make new contacts and get a job. In order for us to help support you to source and complete a placement, we have provided you with some resources which you can find on Moodle. In order to access the placements page on Moodle, please scan the QR code that's on screen now, and when prompted, type in the enrolment key, which is Placement 2022. If you're unable to scan the QR code, there is a link provided for you there as well. On the Moodle placements page, you'll find lots of different resources such as course-specific CV templates, how to contact an employer, emails that you can send out to employers, placement area slides, which will provide you with information on different organisations that you can contact within your industry. So there's lots and lots of resources on there that will really help you to source and successfully complete your placement. I'm now going to play a short video on my career, how to use my career and the different sorts of things that you'll be able to access on there.
Just click on the personal homepage and click on Queries.
Between now and starting your placement, you will need to complete a number of steps. This will be your placement pathway. On the next slide, I will explain how to complete your placement pathway. But just to let you know what to expect, here is the placement lecture delivery from the Careers and Placements team. The first session is the Placement and Employability Essentials, which is this session. So well done, you've already completed your first pathway. The second session will be Know Your Industry Sectors. This is where I will speak to you about your industry, the sorts of placements that you can do within your industry, and just give you some ideas of organisations you can start to think about contacting. The third session will be CV and applications. In this session, you will be taught about how to write a good CV, how to tailor your CV for specific job roles, and essentially some do's and don'ts on CVs and applications. The fourth session will be all about how to ace your interview. We'll go through the STAR technique, how to answer interview specific questions, and again some do's and don'ts and tips and tricks on how to ace your interview. The final lecture delivery is actually a virtual pre-placement briefing video. You will be provided with this video once you have confirmed your placement. This video will give you all of the information that you need in order to pass the placement module, and it will tell you all of the information about professional misconduct. All 5 of these lectures are essential, and you will need to confirm attendance. You will also need to complete the pathway for each section. As well as the 5 mandatory sessions, we will also be running a couple of optional sessions for you. One will be CV and interview help desk, which will be run every Wednesday and Thursday in LCO 18, and that will be from 1 till 2. This will be tailored support in regards to your CV and interview. So if you're looking to apply and you'd like to tailor your CV, or if you've got an interview coming up and you need some advice, please come along to one of these sessions. As well as that, we have an optional wellbeing and managing workplace anxiety. If you're worried or anxious about going out on placement, this session will be perfect for you, and we can hopefully support you to make the process a little bit easier. In regards to the pathway, like I previously mentioned, you will need to complete the pathway in order to complete your placement module. So you will need to log on to My Career, click Pathways, and then click the Professional Placement Pathway. Once you click Start Activity, you will need to read through the pathway details and click Submit once you have completed the requirements. For the first pathway, there are 2 sections. The first section is Placement and Employability Essentials. Once you have watched this video, you can log on to My Career, log on to the Professional Placement Pathway, and you can submit that you have completed the Placement and Employability Essentials pathway. The second part of the first pathway is your placement allowance. Further on in this presentation, I will provide you with a QR code which will take you to a Microsoft form so that you can provide us with your bank details. Once you have done that, you have then completed the second part of the first pathway. You can then move on to the second pathway, which is Know Your Industry Sector. So how do I find a placement? There are many different ways in which you can find a placement. I must remind you, however, that the onus is on you. You need to make your own inquiries as well as looking at the placements being advertised on My Career. Make sure that you research businesses and contact them directly. You can also use sites such as LinkedIn or job sites such as Reed or Indeed, and also Yale.com, which has a list of loads of different organisations within various locations. Start thinking about the logistics. So where are they based? If you're based in Leeds and the placement is in Hull, think about whether that's going to be logistically okay for you to get to. You don't want to commit to something that then turns out is not feasible for you to get there on time. Think about the environment that you'd prefer to work in. Are you looking for public sector, private sector, a small organisation, a large corporate organisation? Start to have a think about the sorts of environments that you would prefer to work in. Look within your own network, so talk to people that you know, family, friends, families, friends. There may be people within your own network that work for organisations that might be suitable for your placement. They may be able to put a word in with the line managers to see if they can successfully get you a placement within that organisation. Remember to be creative and think outside the box. Now, in the second session of Know Your Industry, we will go through this in a lot more detail with you, but think about the transferable skills and think outside the box. If you're unsure how to get started or how to contact an employer, please attend our weekly help desks, either virtually or in person. If you don't want to attend a help desk, you can come along to a drop-in session or you can book a one-to-one. These are all bookable on My Career. As well as that, have a look at the resources on the placement page on Moodle. There'll be lots of information on there that will be able to help you get started. If you don't know what to do, it's absolutely fine. Students report confidence about their future career decreases throughout their university course. This is all about discovering what it is that you'd like to do, what sector you'd like to work in, what role you would like to do. Some sectors and industries are really difficult to get into, and we understand and appreciate that. So please do think about the skills that you want to gain. So placements in schools, charities, support helplines could give you a glimpse into your chosen career. So think outside the box, be realistic, and focus on those skills that you would like to develop throughout your placement. If you're thinking about doing an international placement, brilliant. We've got some awesome links with universities and projects around the world, so broaden your horizons. We've got contacts in Australia, USA, Italy, Malaysia. The world is yours to explore. So if you would like to take part in an international placement, we do have an international placements and study abroad officer, Maya Soul, and she'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Her email address is on screen now, so please feel free to drop her an email for more information. If you think you might require a DBS application for your placement, for example, you'll be working in a school or with children, vulnerable people, please log on to Moodle, the placements page. There is a DBS guide on there. Or if you do require more information, please contact Yvonne Watchhorn, who will be able to let you know how to go about accessing and completing a DBS application. We are able to pay students before they go out on placement a placement allowance. Students on placement will receive this prior to starting. The money will be paid directly into your bank account as soon as your placement starts. So please can you scan the QR code that's on the screen now, or if you're unable to scan the QR code, you can also click the link in the presentation. If neither of these are able to work for you, when you log onto your pathway to complete the placement allowance section, there is a link on there as well. This will take you through to a Microsoft Forms where it'll ask for your bank details. These will be sent directly to our placement administrator, who will confidentially store your bank details so that we can ensure we pay your placement allowance prior to starting. I'm going to briefly mention Career Passport to you. So the Career Passport is an online dashboard which documents a bespoke summary of your skills and experiences. You can use this to support with writing your applications, preparing for interviews, and having discussions about your next step. The brilliant thing is you can access this for 3 years after you graduate. In semester 2, you will find out lots more about the Career Passport, and you'll be required to complete a skills questionnaire which will get you started. More information about this will come to you shortly. We've provided you with a bit of a checklist, so things to start thinking about and things to start getting organised about now so that you know where to start. So please make sure that you attend all of the placement lectures and events. As mentioned, you will need to complete a pathway for each one, and you will not be able to start your placement until each pathway has been completed. Submit your bank details for your placement allowance and book onto a CV and interview help desk session. If you'd like to or you need further support, please book on to one of our twice weekly drop-in sessions via My Career. These will be held in the atrium. Or if you'd like some more one-to-one support, you can book in with your placement officer via My Career. Start researching your sector and contacting suitable businesses. And you really should start thinking about this now. Don't leave it till the last minute. Look on My Career and apply for any placements that match your skills that are currently being advertised on there. Use the resources on Moodle. The resources that are provided to you will really help you to contact employers. If you need a DBS, make sure that you start the process and apply for one. And remember to keep in touch with your placement tutor so that we know where you're at in regards to the placement process. Placement dates for this year. So you have two options. You can either do a full-time placement during the placement block, which is from the 17th of April for 5 to 6 weeks. During this placement block, you will not have any more lectures, you will not have any more exams, you will be free to work within organisation on a full-time basis. If for whatever reason a full-time placement does not work for you because you have a part-time job, you have caring responsibilities or any other commitments, then a flexible placement will probably suit you better. You can start a flexible placement as soon as possible, and this will be on a part-time basis around your studies and other commitments. We usually recommend doing a day or so per week. In regards to placement hours, you must check your module handbook to see how many hours you must complete as a minimum in order to pass the module. Here are some important dates for your diary. So by the 9th of December, you must have your bank details submitted. By the 17th of February, if you need a DBS, you must have applied for this by this date. DBS applications can take a few weeks to come back. By the 27th of February, this is the final date to start a flexible placement. This is worked out based on if you were to do 1 day a week. If you were to start any later than the 27th of February, you probably wouldn't be able to achieve the hours that you need in order to pass the module. By the 3rd of March, you need to have your placement details submitted on eVision for approval by the team. I've provided you with some frequently asked questions. These are questions that students have been asking in lectures and hopefully will clear up any questions that you might be thinking now. So can I do my placement at my part-time job? Yes, you can. However, this will need to be approved by both the placements team and also your module coordinator. If you have a part-time job and you would like to use this as a placement, it must be something that is above and beyond your usual duties. You are not allowed to just complete your part-time job, increase your hours there and use it as your placement. You must do something above and beyond your usual duties. How many hours do I need to do on placement? You must check your module handbook as every course is different. So please refer to your handbook and it will tell you in there how many hours you need to complete as a minimum. I must remind you, if you have completed your minimum requirement of hours, however, you have not completed any projects or work set for you by the organisation, you cannot just finish when you have completed your hours. You must ensure that you finish and all projects set to you before you finish your placement. If you do not do this and you leave before you have finished a project, you may face professional misconduct and ultimately could result in failing the placement. Can I do my placement with more than one organisation? Yes, you can. So if you would like to do, for argument's sake, half of your hours at one organisation, half of your hours at another organisation, you absolutely can do that. If you'd like to do two at the same time, again, you can do that. However, you must make sure that it is feasible for you to do this. Remember, you'll be studying, you'll have exams, you'll have assignments, so try not to bite off more than you can chew. My placement provider cannot offer me the full amount of hours. What should I do? In this instance, we will assess it on a case-by-case basis. Come and book an appointment and speak to me about this. We will have a look into how many hours you are able to complete. I might be able to speak to the placement provider to have your hours increased or help them to provide you with an additional project in order to get some more hours in. We may provide you with an alternative placement as well in addition to this, ask you to do some LinkedIn learning, or we may say that because you're so close to the hours that you needed to achieve and you've learned a lot from it, we may allow you to pass without meeting the minimum requirement. So if your placement provider is not able to offer you the full hours, please do make sure that you come and speak to us. Do I have to do a placement? Yes. So it's absolutely mandatory that you complete a placement. It is a compulsory part of your module and it is a pass or fail. The only way that you cannot do a placement is if you have mitigating circumstances. Can I do my placement in my hometown area? Absolutely. However, again, just make sure it's feasible for you. If you're choosing to do a flexible placement and you live down south, you will still need to be coming to campus in Leeds. So make sure that wherever you complete your placement, it's feasible for you to get there. The commute is easy for you. If you choose to do your placement during the placement block, because there will be no more lectures and no more exams or deadlines, you can go back to your hometown area and complete your placement there on a full-time basis. If it's a remote placement, it doesn't matter where the company is based as you will be working remotely. Which moves me on to the next question, which is, can I do a remote placement? Yes, you can. However, we do encourage you to find placements that are on site. You will gain far more from going into an organisation than you will working remotely. However, saying that, do not disregard any remote placements, as they will also provide you with lots of skills and experience that will be really useful for you when you graduate. If for whatever reason it is a full remote placement, see if you can at least try and go into the office once to meet the team and see the office environment. Is there an alternative to a placement? This year there is no alternative to a placement. It is a pass or fail module, as mentioned, and the only way that you will not have to complete a placement is if you have applied for mitigating circumstances. If I am unable to find a placement, what will happen? There's absolutely no reason why you're unable to find a placement. Last year there were over 80 unfilled placements advertised on My Career. Therefore, we know that there are plenty of placements out there for students. If you do leave it to last minute, however, it may be that you end up doing a placement which is not ideally related to what you wanted to do. But again, remember, think about all of those transferable skills that you will be able to develop. If you're struggling to find a placement, you really must make sure that you make use of all of the resources provided to you, attend the drop-in sessions, attend to the one-to-ones, and make sure that you attend every single lecture. If you attend all of those, there's absolutely no reason why you'll be unable to find a placement. Where do I find my timesheet? So you will be provided with a timesheet once you have confirmed your placement. This timesheet is where you can make sure that you are meeting your minimum requirement of hours. This is a place for you to keep track of the hours that you are doing. You will also need to provide this to your module coordinator so that they can make sure that you have completed the minimum requirement. When will I receive my placement allowance? You will receive your placement allowance once your placement has been confirmed and prior to starting. So you will put down the start date of your placement, and we will endeavour to ensure that your placement allowance is paid to your bank account prior to going out, providing you have given us access to your bank details so that we can get this transferred into your account. I'm now going to pass you over to Careers and Placements Graduate Employment Officer, who will speak to you about the opportunities and the ways they can help you within the Careers and Graduate team.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm Tim Feather and I'm the Graduate Employment Manager. So our primary focus as a team, as a graduate team, is to support you with extracurricular and other opportunities for you to get involved and develop your employability, and really supporting your chances of getting a high-skilled job when you leave university. So we can do this through a number of different ways. Volunteering is something that we're always really trying to promote, especially if you want to go into a very specific area and you need to gain experience as well as having your degree knowledge. So for example, if you want to go into a psychology-based career or a career working with service users, you probably will need to volunteer at some point to really build up that experience of working with those people and those particular service users. We also do one-off volunteering, whether that's for singular events like Leeds Triathlon or the Rugby League World Cup, which is coming very shortly. There will be lots of volunteering opportunities to get involved with there. We do also promote internships as well, so summer internships and also campus-based internships, which are for our final year students. And these are paid opportunities on a fixed-term basis for you to gain some really good experience. They do tend to happen in summer, but a lot of the time is if you do engage with one of these internships, it really will support your application for a graduate job this time next year when you are thinking about those different options available. And one particular grad scheme, like Enterprise, for example, if you do get onto a summer internship, probably will offer you a graduate role by the end of it due to the amount of training and experience you've gained during that internship. And then we do also support with your part-time work experience as well. So whether that's working in a bar or in retail or something very, very specific, like maybe doing some sports coaching, working as a healthcare support assistant or working as a teaching assistant in a school, we always try and make sure it's as flexible around your degree as we possibly can make it. But we can support with your applications for that, whether that's checking your CV, looking at your interview preparation, or just really supporting you in getting those next steps within that work experience. So do engage with us on those particular opportunities to develop your experience. We do also offer mentoring as well. So mentoring is something we've done for the past couple of years, and we've had some fantastic results from it, from people becoming assistant psychologists to people setting up their own businesses and gaining funding for different pieces of work that they wanted to do. So it's open to all academic years and areas. So you could apply for it now. It runs between November and February, and you will be able to meet with a mentor for approximately 30 minutes per month, sorry. And really work through some challenges and objectives that you set yourself. It's a great way to build your confidence. It looks great, see on your CV, and it's also a fantastic way of getting additional experience. The Graduate Aspiration Programme is a mentoring programme run by the Civil Service. So it was originally started by the Ministry of Justice, but it's now spread into other different departments, digital media and sport, including the DWP as well. So it is a really good opportunity to really find out more about those public sector jobs. You will be mentored for 1 hour per month for a minimum of 6 months, and you will get to learn more about your mentor, what kind of opportunities are available, and how you would go about getting to where they are, and finding out the pros and the cons of working within the civil service. Now this is a social mobility programme, so you do need to have social mobility characteristics, whether that's having widening participation and all protected characteristics. That could be gender, it could be race, it could also be disability as well. Or maybe it is more to do with your socio-economic background as well. So if you had free school meals, or if you are the first in your family to go to university, then this is probably the programme for you. It's really a way for the civil service to diversify, and to really open and widen participation within the organisations linked to it. So there is an information session on the 10th of October between 12 and 12:30, which you can book on via My Career. It really is a good opportunity to go and find out more about a really, really good programme, which we know students in the past have got a lot from. It's open to final years and second years only as well. So you guys, if you are in your second year, will be eligible for it. We do have a number of different careers events available as well. So we will have careers fairs. We've got one on the 18th of October, and later on in the year we will also have a teaching recruitment fair, which if you're interested in a career in education is a really good opportunity for you. Come along, they're in the atrium. It's a chance for you to network with employers, find out more about them, and really discover what your career choices potentially could be. We'll also be running a number of Insight Days throughout the year, following the success of last year's Insight Day at ITV Content Delivery. Again, we'll be looking at hosting more of those throughout the year, and we've got one planned for the end of October, so please do keep an eye out for that. We do also run skills workshops and employer engagement sessions. Last year we had West Yorkshire Police come in and speak about careers within the police, and then also we've also had the NHS and also people from the Unlocked programme presenting and telling people a little bit more about that prison officer programme, which is run from here at Leeds Trinity. And then by at the end of January we are also hoping to promote and provide our student employee networking event. A great opportunity for you to build your network and develop more contacts within your particular sector, but it's also a great way for you to find a placement as well. So many people have actually attended that and spoken to an employer and managed to secure a placement just through that networking event, so do keep an eye out for that. So here's a list of our upcoming events for semester 1. So we've got the Careers Fair, like I mentioned, on the 18th of October in the atrium. And then we've also got that Insight Day with the employers soon to be confirmed, but we are very close to finalising that. Whether you're interested in a career in media and journalism or not, on the 7th of November, we do have Media and Journalism Week. Even if you're not on a journalism course, please feel free to log in or listen into one of those talks. Very, very interesting stuff. And journalism is one of the careers that really does lend itself to lots of different degree backgrounds. So whether you're doing sociology or criminology, journalism might be something that you look to progress to, especially as we run the masters here, and we have a really good reputation for developing well-rounded journalists too. On the 8th of November we are running a guide to summer internships, so if that is something you're interested in but you don't know much about it, or you want to know what kind of opportunities are available, that session will be perfect for you. And then on the 15th of November we'll be hoping to provide LinkedIn photos in the atrium, so if you come along we'll be able to take a LinkedIn photo, and that will help to develop your profile, as it's something you should really start doing now, because it does take time to build those contacts on LinkedIn, and also develop your profile over time, ready for graduation. And the better prepared you are on LinkedIn, that can really support your job applications, because employers do look at it. So if you do have any questions, you can email us, careers@leedstrinity.ac.uk, or if your question is primarily around placement, email placements@leedstrinity.ac.uk, and one of our team will be getting back to you. Thank you very much.